Video diary, August 22nd. So much has been going on. I haven't been making my 52-minute videos, 52 minutes a day. But life has been insane. Like, I don't even remember where I left off, but I'll just start from where I can remember. So I quit using all forms of marijuana, THC. On Saturday was the last day I used last week. So it's 8 days today, right? Yeah. And then I quit vaping. And I say I quit, but that thing was like half dead, sitting, like not half dead. It was like pretty much all the way dead. And what I do is I wait, and then I just try to see if I could just hit it just enough so I could just get a little poof. And I freaking did that a few times until it was like, it wasn't gonna do anything. You just hit it and it blink, blink, blink. But that's not the point. The point is I started using lozenges 4 or 5 days ago. And then that vapey pen was pretty much all gone. It's just every so often I try to make it work for a half a poof, but that's more of a psychological issue than usage. I don't think it added to the actual, parts per million in my, system or whatever. That's what the lozenges were doing. And it's interesting because it was every 3 hours I could feel that moment of extreme pressure of the need, and that's why I'm here. I'm here at Tina's house. Tina's house. So I'm here with Tina, and no babies, no Freyas. I'm just gonna focus on getting myself 100%. No, I ran out of lozenges on the way here, so that's it. We just had dinner, and of course, what does a smoker do after they eat? They smoke. And same thing with a vapor. A vapor is like a smoker, so I wonder if there's somewhere I can set this so I can continue to talk without having to hold it, because it's really super annoying. Yeah, we'll just keep this going while I do this, because why not? It's all gotta be edited anyways. Alright, let's see if I'm a super genius for rigging stuff or if this is just gonna fall. So, I am a super genius. My shoulder and more importantly my neck is out. It's just, it could be worse, so I should be very grateful, but it is not so great. But I'm not smoking, I'm not vaping, and I was like a chimney, so this is quite the improvement. Tina's been talking about a lot of heavy stuff, so instead of beginning at the beginning of what's been going on with me, I'm just gonna dive into the most recent. I was up there and Tina started asking me about when she rescued me from the motel in Las Vegas, Nevada, behind the Stratosphere when I was pregnant with William. That was intense. Apparently, I was trying to get away from a crackhead who had me in a room that was it used to be motels, and then they changed it to like weekly apartments. Super sketch. And yeah, so I called my mom and I was like, I have no one in the world, I need help, I need to get out of here. My mom was like, can't help you. Should have thought of that before you did what you did and said what you said, which apparently was, hey, I was really molested and whatever. But we have so moved past that. We were both victims. No hard feelings. And she was really affected by it. She called Tina, apparently, and was like, hey, like, there's this situation, but I can't help her. So, Tina had her husband pick me up from that motel, and here I am. Here I am, all this time later. And we even looked up videos of mine that I haven't seen that version of me in a long time. It's the me that was a lost boy. I was in Neverland, my pink hair, and the person I am today was too heavy of a concept for me at that time. And you know what? I still am. Being the good mom, being me, is not the easy choice. Blowing like a bag in the wind is easier. But easier isn't what life is about. Life isn't about easier. Life is about worth it. And my kids make it worth it. And now my love story makes it worth it. I told Tina when I was cleaning out the car, I said, she said, aren't you proud of yourself? You've come so far. You know, after seeing the video of me out there in the Lolos. And she said, you should be proud of yourself. And I said, I have so much more to go, you know, so much farther to go. And she said, not really. And I said, yeah, well, you know, still don't have my mic. And she said, yeah, not yet, huh? And she said it so kindly, you know, like, fact of the matter is, I am fine believing a lie. It brings me peace. And you know, when I pray about stuff and then these coincidences happen, it just like, it helps me to continue on this path. So even if it's not true, he's not in love with me still, you know what I mean? It's not a two-way feeling, right? Let's say that's possible. I'm happier in the lie. I just am. I never want to meet anybody new. I never want to be... I just don't. And it's not because I can't see myself being with anyone else, or I couldn't make it work, or I couldn't imagine being happy. It's not even about being happy. It's the fact that I don't even know how to explain it with real words. Yes, I was the happiest I've ever been in my life when I was with Mike, hands down. Yes, I still feel him in bed next to me all the time. It's weird when you're waking up out of that haze and they're not there. I guess that's why. You know what? Let's not say anything else. Can't that just be the only reason? That and the fact that when I pray, even when I was, especially when I was the most lost, I felt him. That doesn't make any sense, right? Whatever. It is what it is. There's a song that I like by George Ezra, and he goes, the garden was blessed by the gods of me and you. And I really do believe that there are the gods of me and you. And I remember just recently when I was getting the fortitude to have the courage to tell Robert and his family, listen, there is nothing anybody can do to change my mind. I will never, ever, ever, ever be able to do anything sexually again, you know, with this man. Because ever since in 2017, when I used LSD and whatever wire was crossed, uncrossed, and I felt like I had just come out of a coma, out of cold storage that day. Ever since then, doing anything with Robert has felt like absolute torture, molestation. I don't like it. I don't want it. I feel like my soul is being ripped into 1,000 shreds. And I was finally ready to stop feeling abused. And the worst part is, you know, he's not trying to abuse me. He was just trying to do what he was doing, which is be married to me. And it was too much. It was too much for my mental health. I broke, and I divorced, and I moved to Louisiana, right? And then these things happened where I was having connections with Robert. So I thought, maybe, right? Because I was, for instance, I was in Barnes & Noble, and there was a book that I would video chat to Freya every night called Mama by Jimmy Fallon. And I was in the bookstore one evening with Tiffany, and I see another book by Jimmy Fallon called like Papa or something, right? Or Dada, I don't know. Point is I saw it and I started crying because, you know, Freya deserves a mommy and daddy that live together, but because her mommy is hung up on her first husband, because her mommy can't just get over herself and do what it takes to be the right kind of Latter-day Saint that is like here in it to win it for the family, you know, just you know, and then I'm looking at this book, I'm crying, and the phone rings, and he goes, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, I'm standing in front of a book, crying, thinking about you. It's this book, and this is why. And he goes, "Okay, well, holy crap, because it is not a good time. I am not supposed to be using my phone right now. I totally had to run out of work just to see if you were okay." And that's when I decided to give it another shot. That's when I was like, okay, something happened here. That was spiritual. That was, he felt me, right? Yeah. So I did. I came back, and I remarried, and it felt just as disgusting, and my skin crawls at the touch of it. Literally makes me feel sick because I am so in love with Mike. I want to honor him. I feel so much guilt and remorse. All my entire soul wants to do is live beyond my best life for him live my life as a testament of apology, which would never ever even be enough. And doing that is a betrayal still to my soul. So no. Where was I? So married. Oh yeah, I just barely got the courage to say again that I made a mistake. Remarrying was not cool, and I remember when I knew I couldn't not one more time. I mean, we had only been together enough times to pretty much have the baby boy that came from it and 2 other times. So like, this entire marriage, I've only compromised myself like that for sure less than half a dozen times. And any other time that I've had any kind of assistance, it's begrudgingly, I'll give him a hand, and I hate it. I'd rather be alone. But I know I can never post this because I feel like I was told to keep this private. But I want to say it for me. So Mike's grandfather came to me before I knew about the church, and he showed me temple garments. He told me go to the temple before it was too late. He told me. And I felt his presence again, and it was to, do I want to be with Mike in heaven only? Is that my best wish? And I didn't understand. What do you mean my best wish? Because I've been doing a lot of research on, trying to align myself with my true purpose in life. And everything talks about, your heart's desire and following your passions. And I think of the movie Pirates of the Caribbean with the compass that would point to the treasure, but the guy couldn't use it himself because all he wanted was Jack Sparrow dead, so all the arrow pointed to was Jack, right? My arrow, ever since November 5th of 2017, my arrow only points to Mike. And so, when this thing happened, and I felt the presence of his grandfather in my consciousness, the question proposed was, is your ultimate desire to be alone in this terrestrial plane and then to see him in heaven? And I said, no. But, you know, he has, you know, that handicap kid and, you know, all that new. Well, not new, it's just whatever. Everybody knows what it is. I don't even want to say anything. Everybody knows who it is, what it is, how it is. I don't have no opinions on it. It just is what it is, okay? And it's not my place to meddle, especially after what happened. Right? But I felt his grandfather say that I needed to ask for what I really want. Just to be with him here and now. Because it's not fair to him, and he wants it too, and he doesn't know. It would be making my unfair thing even more unfair to him, even more. So that's the concept blew my mind, and I still couldn't do it for a while. Like, I heard it, I understood it, I still couldn't even do it. And then when I finally did allow myself to think about being with Mike in this life, in this world, in this sorry, Simo. I could only allow myself to do it in, like, just, like, pretend, like, I prefer to think that I'm making it all up, and it's not true, and that it's just my happy place, and I still do it. I still do it. I still do. There's a huge part of me that cannot believe that he would ever still love me and do the work it would take to face everyone in our lives and be together again. So, that was a lot to get out. It was a lot to say. I'm very sorry with the intensity that it came out. I don't know who I'm apologizing to, because I don't know who's even going to watch this. What is this even? I don't... I do feel like I need to make a record of the things that are happening, because I feel like this is something that I've been... I don't want to say it like, oh, I've been prompted, but I mean, I've definitely felt influences encouraging me to document this process. Not for me, but rather, despite me. I am too emotional. Crying about Mike is not what I want to do. My goal to be honest with you, my goal is not to be with Mike in this world right now, because I cannot bring myself to believe that he could. I mean, I do in Fantasyland, in a world of wouldn't it be great if we won the lottery kind of thinking. That's not true 100% though, because I drove all the way to Henderson. I guess I didn't tell you that yet. And I'm gonna move there. For sure. I'm not going to take no for an answer. Unless it's spiritually prompted, but the spiritual prompting I got was, don't take no for an answer. Do the hard thing. Don't compromise for other people, because there's a difference between the right thing and the easy thing. And it said, don't take the path of least resistance. And it told me this through my horoscope. But that horoscope's been just too right too many times to ignore. And I was already feeling it. And then it said it. And God can speak through anything. So who am I to limit God's, methods of communicating with me? So that's, yeah. I'm gonna move to Henderson. The house I wanted is gone because it took too long to put an offer in. It's fine. Church is paying for it indefinitely. And they said that, just make sure that it's something that I can make the payments for once I'm settled and established and doing well. So I'm definitely not getting anything here, but yeah. So Henderson, I sat at an old address of his. I knew it was old. I knew it wasn't current. And I cried. And I felt a little better. Got in the car, drove to use the restroom, fixed myself up just a little bit so I didn't look like a complete just mess. And then I was trying to drive home, actually, or to go back to my mom's, and I, for the life of me, could not. Like, the GPS first, and then the road just didn't exist. Like, literally, it's like, take the exit, and the exit was cement barricaded, closed. I'm like, there's no exit. And so, like, it kept spitting me back out into the same neighborhood. So I was like, fine. Spit me out into the exact same spot over and over again. So I go to this church. I drove by. I was like, is that a Latter-day Saint church? It is. So I park. I walk over. Sitting there. And I did the come follow me, which happened to be on the Word of Wisdom. Right. Coincidences. And an hour and 8 minutes was the come follow me. And I pretty much did the whole thing there. And then I had a sticker fall out of my backpack into the gravel in front of me. And I was like, oh, go put it on that stop sign. Because you can't put it on church property. Like, that's messed up. But I will totally stick it on the back of a stop sign. So I went and I stuck it on the stop sign. I left my mark in Henderson. So now when some kid's walking down the street, they'll be like, is that an astronaut riding a unicorn? Yeah, it is. And what else? Then I actually felt some peace to my soul. Oh, so hallucinating. I figure out what made me hallucinate. So medical marijuana is one thing. Having a friend who gets weed from whoever, however, and trading a little bit of my actual medical marijuana with her, whatever the heck that was, and then mixing it with all my stuff into one big mush. That was the stupidest thing I could have ever done. Because the moment I lit it, I knew that it was wrong. Because it didn't just burn like weed. It was popping and fizzling. That's not weed. So whatever was on that, now I'm at the beach, standing there, staring into the ocean, ready to die, hallucinating seeing Mike and his Navy buddies on a boat throwing blue garbage bags into the water. Like, wow, that's straight up kooky dukes. But thank God I at least now know. I mean, I should have known. Like, who the or this is why being an absolute member of the church is so important for me, because I learned wrong. Like, I remember at whatever little kid age, and my mom was like, oh, you're doing so great, now drive out onto the road. I'm like, no, there's other vehicles out there. And she's like, okay, but go. And I was like, no, it's illegal. And I remember when she finally got mad, she was like, you know what, just get out of the car. It's illegal. It's illegal. Is that all you know how to say out there? But you know what, we were both kids, so I'm totally not judging. But fact of the matter is a kid being raised by a kid, I don't have a default system of operations that I can trust. Every single thing that I think, I need to be sure that I'm running it past a system of morality checks so that I don't get lost again. Because, yeah, like, not smoking someone's weed that they got randomly, that should be a given. How about not smoking ever? That would be even better. So that's pretty much where I've resigned myself. That's why 7 days clean off of marijuana is right now. I have been through so much inhaling and exhaling stuff to feel a certain way that I think that ritual at all just doesn't have a place in my life. You know, if I ever do decide to have any kind of medical marijuana, the bishop told me last Sunday that edibles is what the church recommends. And you know what? I'm not even running to it, but I'm open to it. Oh, here's Tina. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.